Hello, I am your host, Niche Navigator. We're heading out on an expedition today, but it's not the wilderness you might expect. We're diving into the world of urban foraging. Now imagine this. You're navigating concrete jungles, not Amazonian rainforests, but the survival instinct remains the same. Let's explore how you can safely and responsibly forage in your local area. Before you even think about putting your hands on wild plants, knowledge is your most crucial tool. Just like I wouldn't scale a cliff without checking my ropes, you don't want to eat anything without knowing exactly what it is. Invest in some good field guides. They're your lifeline out here. Got a smartphone? Use it. Download reputable plant identification apps. And don't underestimate the power of a good book. There are some really comprehensive foraging guides out there. Now, identifying edible plants is all about the details. Look for those distinguishing features: leaf shape, color, texture. It's not just about knowing what to eat, but what to avoid at all costs. Some plants can mimic others, and trust me, you don't want to learn the hard way. Joining local foraging groups can be a game changer. It's like having a seasoned explorer by your side, sharing their wisdom and experience. Remember, knowledge is power, and in the world of foraging, it can be the difference between a good meal and a bad experience. Right. Just like every terrain has its boundaries, urban foraging comes with its own set of rules. Remember, we're not just surviving, we're coexisting. First things first, research local regulations on foraging in public spaces. Some areas are a free-for-all, others not so much. Check if permits are needed, and always respect those boundaries. Private property is a different beast altogether. Always, and I mean always, ask for permission before foraging on private land. It's about respect, pure and simple. Now, don't let the rules discourage you. See it as part of the challenge, like reading a map before tackling a mountain. Knowing the lay of the land, both legally and geographically, will make your urban foraging adventure smoother and more rewarding. Now, every good adventurer needs their trusty gear, and urban foraging is no exception. We're not talking about climbing axes and harnesses, but the right tools can make all the difference. A small knife is essential, perfect for cutting stems and leaves. A trowel comes in handy for digging up roots, and a basket or bag is a must for carrying your bounty. Now let's talk protection. You're in an urban environment, so gloves are crucial. You never know what you might encounter. And don't forget sturdy footwear. Broken glass and uneven terrain are all part of the urban jungle. Remember, preparedness is key. The right gear not only makes the experience more efficient, but also ensures you're safe and respectful of the environment you're venturing into. Think of it as packing light but smart. Every item has a purpose. Okay, you've got the knowledge, the permits, the gear. Now it's time to pick your hunting grounds. Remember, this isn't about scaling skyscrapers or rappelling down buildings. It's about finding those hidden oases within the concrete jungle. Avoid polluted areas like the plague. Busy roadsides, industrial zones, those are a no-go. You want clean, well-maintained spaces where nature thrives. Parks, community gardens, even your own backyard can be gold mines. Look for areas with rich biodiversity, a sign of a healthy ecosystem. The more variety, the better your chances of finding those edible treasures. And remember, less human interference means a higher chance of finding untouched bounty. It's about using your instincts, reading the environment, and picking your spots wisely. Just like I'd scope out a water source in the wild, you're looking for those prime foraging locations in the city. So, trust your gut, stay observant, and those urban foraging hotspots will reveal themselves. All right, you've found your foraging haven, but hold your horses. Just like a true survivor respects the land, we harvest responsibly. Greed is not our friend here. Take only what you need and never, ever strip an area bare. We want to leave enough for the plant to regenerate and for others to enjoy. Think of it like this. You're not just taking, you're borrowing from nature. Use clean tools and practice proper techniques. Instead of uprooting an entire plant, trim leaves and stems carefully. It's about leaving as small a footprint as possible. Remember, sustainability is key. We want to ensure that these urban oases continue to thrive for generations to come. So be mindful, be respectful, and treat the urban landscape with the same reverence you would a pristine wilderness. Now, before you go chomping down on your urban finds, safety is paramount. Remember, not everything green is good to eat. Double-check plant identification, even if you're 99% sure. When in doubt, throw it out. It's always a good idea to attend local workshops or consult with experienced foragers. Think of it as your survival training for the urban jungle. Start by testing small amounts of any new plant. Your body might react differently to what others can handle, and be aware of potential allergies. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's harmless. Safety first, always. It's better to be cautious than laid up with a bad stomachache or worse. So play it smart, listen to your body, and don't be afraid to err on the side of caution. Right, you've gathered your urban bounty, now it's time to turn it into a feast fit for a forager. But first, hygiene is crucial. Just like you'd purify water in the wild, we need to clean our foraged ingredients thoroughly. Rinse them under running water, inspect for any creepy crawlies, and remove any damaged parts. Now, preserving your harvest is key. Drying, freezing, canning. There are tons of methods, each with its pros and cons. Do your research, find what works best for you, and follow those guidelines religiously. Remember, properly stored food means less waste, and that's a win-win for you and the environment. Treat your urban harvest with the same care you would any precious resource, and it will reward you in kind. We've navigated the urban jungle, gathered our supplies, and now it's time to leave no trace of our presence. Remember, we're not just visitors in this concrete jungle, we're part of its ecosystem. Pack it in, pack it out. That goes for any trash or food scraps. Dispose of waste responsibly, just as you would in any natural environment. And consider giving back. Replenishing foraging areas by scattering seeds or participating in local cleanups is a great way to show your appreciation. We're sharing this space with wildlife, so let's be respectful neighbors. Avoid disturbing animals or their habitats. Observe from a distance and never feed them. Our goal is to tread lightly, minimizing our impact and preserving the delicate balance of nature within the urban landscape. You've conquered the urban wilderness. Now it's time to share your adventures. Document your foraging journey, jot down your discoveries, and snap some photos of your edible finds. A journal is like your field notebook, a treasure trove of experiences and lessons learned. And hey, why not share that knowledge with the world? Social media is a powerful tool for connecting with fellow foragers and spreading the word about this amazing practice. Engage with the community, join local foraging groups, attend events, swap stories, and learn from one another. Collaboration is key, and who knows, you might discover new foraging spots, techniques, or even recipes. Remember, the more we share, the more we learn, and the stronger our connection to nature becomes. So, get out there, explore, experiment, and let's redefine what it means to connect with nature in the 21st century. So there you have it, your crash course in urban foraging. Remember, the concrete jungle might seem like an unlikely place to reconnect with nature, but it's teeming with edible possibilities. Urban foraging can be a rewarding and educational pursuit, offering both the thrill of discovery and the benefits of connecting with nature. By following these guidelines, you can ensure a safe, legal, and sustainable foraging experience. Happy foraging!